Hello everybody, my name is Lucas and welcome back to the Minecrafts. This is the in-depth explanation of the redstone of the mob farm because I said I would explain it in a separate video. It deserves its own separate video because A, it's extremely complicated and my plan and what I have to do with this. It's not finished yet, but I can explain the details pretty well, I hope. Also, I would just this is my first big redstone complicated thing, which involves like actual redstone circuits and things that I'm pretty proud of. I did show off the bamboo farm a little bit in the update video, Minecraft update number 6 for this world, and I was pretty proud of that. I came up with a solution for the backlogs, but this is by far my most in-depth by myself redstoning that I've done. So let's take a look at it before I fall and die of fall damage. Oh, lag. So the general premise of what I want to do is basically I want the mobs to fall down, die from fall damage, and then I want the items to get picked up and swept away before they despawn into their respective item sorter. So in order to not have in order to not max out the mob cap, I sort of have each of the 4 platforms alternating with their spawns. You can see that there's a redstone block here that powers all 4 of these. This is immediate powered, this is on a delay, this is on a delay, and this is on an even bigger delay. I sort of mathed it out. So each of these, if I divide it by 5, you start one, then the second one goes, then the third one goes, and the fourth one goes, and then you're back at the beginning. At least I probably did the math wrong, because it doesn't seem like it is, but it's pretty short because the repeater timer isn't the longest. But basically what needs to happen is, in order for the items to get swept away, water has to come over the platform, right? But if mobs continue to fall, they won't die. So I need to basically get, and I have magma blocks. I have magma blocks. Let's see, I can show you. I have magma blocks down here, which was my original plan for killing, and I'm going to keep. Oh, I forgot there's no water. And I'm gonna keep them there just in case some mobs slip through, which I do anticipate. But basically, the only way that they're going to die is if they land in the water, if they don't. So I needed to come up with a system where about every 4 to 5 minutes, 5 minutes is the most time the items will stay there. So if it's past 5 minutes, these spawn. So about every 4 to 5 minutes, or as long as I can, I need to shut off the farm, make sure no mobs spawn, so that's returned to the default state, and then activate dispensers, which then sweep the water, or sweep the items down into the item sorter. So getting into this monstrosity, this section right here, the 2 hoppers, the dispensers, and the sticky pistons with the redstone block, it has an etho hopper clock. Pretty simple, just search hopper clock, and I have the maximum amount of items loaded in here. You'll see it's currently running right now, although I disabled the redstone block. So that determines, every 4 minutes there needs, or 4 to 5 minutes, or however long it is, I haven't timed it out, there needs to be a pause of everything, to where we detect a redstone signal, and then it goes down to the dispensers, which I haven't put in. The dispensers are going to go right along here. See, I've dug them out. I have to wire the redstone, and I'll probably get it down from up there with an observer note blockchain to bring it down, and then put it in a redstone, and that part will be pretty simple. But the problem is that I found out is if every 4 minutes and 30 seconds I needed to pause everything, I needed to pause the hopper clock. Because otherwise, it would shift. It would eventually line up to where it would go in the middle of it, in the middle of the pause. It wouldn't shut off. So I needed a pulse extender to shut everything off for 30 seconds to sort of essentially put everything on pause to allow to hold a redstone pulse that shuts everything off to allow the dispensers to do their thing. And that's what this thing is. You'll understand. I know that probably didn't make any sense, but stay with me. This is a hopper pulse extender, which I'm pretty proud of. I didn't come up with it, but just building it makes me feel cool. So what happens here is, I actually don't know what happened. I'm just gonna make this up, so bear with me. What happens is there's items in here. They are currently being locked by this redstone. The hopper's being locked by the redstone. But as soon as there's a pulse here, this moves or whatever, there's a pulse extended by the repeater. The redstone torch turns off. Redstone torch turns off, which allows items to flow from here to there. And it locks this hopper because of the redstone torch, and also turns this lamp on. So essentially this lamp is your output. So then I take this output, detect it, and there's a redstone, there'll be a redstone block, here, powering all of this. You'll see, did it. It'll pull it back, and then after 30 seconds, or I think it's 25, it'll detect the update again, and put the block back. There's a sort of pulse extender 30-second update. So for 30 seconds, it pulls this back, and then when it's done, there's a 1-tick pulse, which then spits the block out. That's Minecraft Java Edition. Super fast. And you notice the 1-tick pulse will happen over here. So then, well, we've pulled it back, we need to pause the hopper clock to make sure everything stays in line. And I came up with this part, so I feel pretty good about it. Basically, I need an observer. I could technically use repeaters here. I'm not sure why I didn't, but I just wanted to be safe. Didn't use observers. Pretty interesting. Output 1-tick pulses, and then a 1-tick pulse delay because I wanted repeaters here, and I don't think redstone wouldn't power it, so I needed repeaters. Now the cool thing about it here is 1-tick pulses, redstone or sticky pistons output their block. So by outputting these two blocks, it puts a pause on the hopper clock until this observer detects an update again. So, which I think is super cool. So basically I need to now time the dispensers to where I wait for the dispensers to go after all the mobs, after the pause has been initiated. I have to account for the water delay, the delay it takes for the longest repeater path to travel, to shut off. Right? I'm sure I could do this a whole different way, but I wanted to do it this way. Also, we have a permanent off switch, or permanent on switch, I guess, which pauses the hopper clock. It pauses the hopper clock and also keeps this going. Basically, just runs the farm without putting it in anything, and it would work all right. But I have to have this thing reversed so it matches up with the hopper clock. So you'll see the 1-tick pulse here if I activate the lever. The 1-tick pulse spits out the redstone blocks, pauses the hopper clock, and then after the pulse extender ends, this observer then detects the update and then essentially retracts blocks like that. So that's the in-depth sort of gist. I'll go over it one more time just to make sense what happens. So etho hopper clock, 5 stacks of items. You'll see, you'll see it trigger. Then the observer will detect a block update, send or start the stack of items going into this because of the redstone torch, which then will power this so it detects an update. Then the observer goes, "Hey, you just said pause the system. So then we're gonna retract the redstone block here, pausing the farm, and then I'm gonna have to set the delay so the dispensers down where I showed you will dispense, push all the water out, and then after 30 seconds, and then it pauses the hover clock by spitting out the 2 redstone blocks. And then at the end of this, everything goes back to normal, fires up the system. We're gonna have to both dispense and retract the item pushing water down here, so I'm sure it'll be really tight. We might have to add more of a delay to the pulse extender if need be, for the dispensers to actually, have time to spread out all their water and retract all their water. I'll be playing with that in the near future. But I'm really proud of this. This is the most complicated redstone thing I've ever done. I basically took different parts of my redstone knowledge and just went wham and mushed it all together. It was kind of interesting. Also, if you want to keep up progress with the world, I stream it almost every day. Not Minecraft, but I do stream 50%, probably 75% Minecraft every day at twitch.tv/RuDog12, hashtag shameless plug. Hope you guys learned something, and I know this could be optimized. I know, but I like doing my own redstone. I don't like if I'm gonna optimize a circuit, let me do it. Like, these can be repeaters, but observers are just kind of fun. Anyways, I hope this helped you understand a little bit what's going on here, especially for the people on stream who are like, what were you building? I'm like, just calm down, I'll explain it in the YouTube video. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. English is the hardest language. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.